if he is not in the top two in the championship standings at the summer break. He was not in second in the championship standings at the summer break.
That Max Verstappen is not.
So if he wanted to, he can exit Red Bull. So, definitely the rumors are definitely flying around about him going to McLaren. He's seen the Total Wolf and his wife vacationing, so that's going to, kick things off too.
Welcome to the Paddock F1 with Greeny and The Cheese. We're caffeinated, we're medicated. It's a podcast by fans for fans. Your dose of F1 news. All the races, all the tracks, and all the drama. Coming up on today's show.
Yes. Let's me some In The Paddock F1. Greeny and The Cheese. Episode 2 damn hundo. How about that, junk? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Hit that subscribe and like button. Help us out here at the channel. Thanks for tagging along for 200 damn episodes. If you've been here the whole damn time, hit us up. Throw a comment on this week's. It's a big kahuna. We got no racing still. Summer break time, as always, this time of year. But there is stories and rumors galore out there, to be honest. We are caffeinated. We are medicated. Greeny, happy 200th show, my friend.
Happy 200. It's a big one. We should get a cake for this one. Smash it in your face. Smash
it in your damn face.
That's a big number. Congratulations, and for everyone who's been.
I should have texted your son and had him smash you in the face with a cake. That would have been freaking brilliant. But I didn't think of it until just now.
He would have enjoyed that.
Son of a bitch.
But maybe there's always 201, as we're not going anywhere here. Thank you again for joining us. If you've been here for one episode or all 200, thank you. It is always humbling for every listen that we get and every download that we get. So thank you all. We got some news here. We skipped last week. I think the first week of the year we skipped here. But we got plenty of news. Some news we're going to get to this week. Some news that we can hold over for the coming weeks. But I think the biggest and hottest story right now is surrounding Max Verstappen. Always juicy Max Verstappen rumors, but looks like we're moving a little away maybe from the rumors. Are they still rumors? Is there some facts behind potentially Max going somewhere that's not Red Bull? Cheese, what do you got?
There's rumors for Max door right now. Either going to McLaren or Mercedes. He's been seen vacationing with Toto Wolff and his wife. So that was interesting. He also, this is the big one, that because the clause in his contract, and that is, there's a performance clause that he is free to leave Red Bull at the end of 26 if he is not in the top two in the championship standings at the summer break. He was not in second in the championship standings at the summer break.
That Max Verstappen is not.
So if he wanted to, he can exit Red Bull. So, definitely the rumors are definitely flying around about him going to McLaren. He's seen the Total Wolf and his wife vacationing, so that's going to, kick things off too. I'm not really totally sure what the hell he would do. I don't know if he would leave Red Bull because he does have a pretty powerful position there, and I mean the contract is pretty ridiculous. I think they've tabled a new offer to him for like $80 million a season or something like that. So
you can't buy that. You can't buy that power. Come on, man. You can't. There's no way that all of the goodwill and good graces of Max Verstappen through the years, that you can come anywhere close to that at any other team. Because who are the teams you're talking about and who you're competing against? Because you're going to come in either day one in being the number 2 driver, right? Maybe not on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Or pushing out the number 1 driver. Because both these teams have long-term number 1 drivers. So that's a tough spot for someone like this to go to. Just like Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari with Charles Leclerc already being the number 1 there, and then someone comes in. But it's a little bit different because Lewis is at his end of his career, and who knows how many more seasons he's going to have left. People were surprised he even came on this season. And people are really surprised that he's talking about most likely racing in 2027 with Ferrari. So, but you get a different vibe here with Max Verstappen, because with Max, it could be the next 10 years. And if he goes to McLaren, who's out? Piastri or Lando? And is it Lando?
Piastri would be out because of the contract time. So,
but with all of that, with Lando and Max, can they coexist as number 1? Max, Orlando didn't like it very much when Piastri was encroaching potentially on his number 1. And now you got Max Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that.
Mm-hmm.
Kimi Antonelli, who has got a legitimate shot of winning the World Drivers' Championship this year, and then you're going to bring in Max Verstappen there. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So, yeah, on paper it looks great. Just like any player on any organized sports team or whatever, it might bring in someone in that's better, that's the best. It's not as easy as it looks. And if I was Max Verstappen, yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side, but Mercedes 2025 is very, very different than Mercedes 2026. So things could change very quickly in performance and who's getting ahead of who. And all these teams don't have tens of millions anymore. They have billions now. And any investor can come around and put money in any of these teams' pockets and make a huge difference. So I don't think it makes any sense, because he could find himself in the same position at any other team.
For sure.
Look at Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren over the last few years, and we've had a rotation of all those teams winning championships. So, only team left out in the cold of that group is Ferrari. As I take a little cheap shot there. Take a little cheap shot there.
That's definitely a cheap shot right there. That was definitely shots fired across the bow.
It's facts. Those are facts.
Those are facts.
No tinfoil hat needed for that one. Those are facts.
No, there's definitely not. Definitely not no tinfoil hat necessary at all for that. That is actually facts. But I just don't. I mean, Red Bull's definitely moving, up in the performance right now too. The car is definitely being developed in a better direction. I mean, Max is throwing way better finishes than early in the season. So the last few races. I just don't see why you would leave and to leave that power you have within the team, because you're not going to have that if you go to Mercedes or Merc, and performance things could change next season, and Mercedes or whoever he goes is not as good as they were projected to be. So that's always a crapshoot too, especially with the new regulations and how they keep changing and upgrading them, recently to try and make things more exciting. So
trust the devil you know over the devil you don't. And that's really what it comes down to with the situation. I can't imagine. The only way I can imagine is if you have just two completely open seats in one of these teams. It could be any team. Depending on performance and depending on what kind of car they put up, It could be any team that has 2 empty seats because, like I said, if Max shows up, that brings a lot of opportunity for other investors to say, you know what, I'll put $600 million into this. That would be absurd 10 years ago. That would be but not anymore.
Not anymore.
I'll invest $1 billion into Max Verstappen going to Williams. Sorry, I don't mean to, just throwing a team out there. That's an investment, and you're talking about a 5-year. You can get Max for 5 years at this point, and sign him up and have a 5-year. Geez, I don't even know, $400 million over 5 years or something crazy like that. That's pretty enticing, and I think a lot of sponsors and a lot of money can follow that. So that's where you are. Max can go anywhere he wants, but I think it's just best for him to go to a team that has cleared the way with no driver drama, no Lando Norris or Kimi Antonelli or someone who's just won a World Drivers' Championship. If Kimi wins this year, Lando won next year, you're going to go to one of those teams. It's the last 2 champions to be side by side with them. I mean, am I wrong?
No, I don't think so. I definitely don't think, I definitely don't think so. I agree with that 100%.
Unless Ferrari makes some huge comeback here and Lando and Lewis Hamilton wins the 2026 World Drivers' Championship, which he does have a shot.
Yeah. No, he definitely does. Story number 2 here. It is looking more likely that the 2026 F1 season might be ending in Europe. And rumor has it, the race could be held at Imola in December. Which, according to Dominicali, who's, said something about this, said it'd be close to the temperatures that they have in Vegas, which the drivers say it's like driving on ice. So, yeah. Why would you not pick, if you're ending in December in Europe, why would you not pick, Portimao? Or we went to recently? Great track, exciting. Could probably get some pretty exciting racing in there. I mean, you know how much I love Imola, but Imola in December is probably not the best idea. But what's your thoughts on that? It does seem, to be honest, that's probably looking like that could be the case. So, the way things are in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. And not at a race, but we've seen it at testing a couple times. I believe 2018 in Barcelona, we had an ice storm, cold weather. Yeah. I think 03 as well in Spain, also during testing. March, it's cold, but I guess it's the same kind of weather here. So let's go, baby. Let's get a snow race. We've never had a snow race before. Let's get a snow race or ice. Or something, because if you think it's going to be cold in Vegas in December, pack your bags, all right? Now, they're racing at night, but, and it's in, the 60s Fahrenheit. So, and that's cold. Who knows what you're going to get? So, watching an NFL playoff game, you're rooting for snow. I don't know. I don't think they can operate in snow and ice. You're not going to put cars out there. No. So that'll be interesting.
No.
But give me some flurries. We'll race some flurries. That'd be fun. That'd be new. You'd love that.
Control is what that would be. I would never seen anything like that before, except for, some, insane, like ice racing or something like that they do, some of those northern, European countries in the winter, they do straight up ice racing. So,
Hell yeah.
but these cars, those things have, studded tires. So we're
We could
not
have a new
racing on
compound. We could have a new compound studded. Hard studded and medium studded.
Oh, that's
Pirelli,
yeah.
get on it.
Get on it, get on it.
Yeah, what would you do? No, Portimao makes a lot of sense. I've been to, southern Portugal in January before.
Even like, another one you want to throw out there
80s.
too. Probably another track you could throw out there too would be, Paul Richard in the southern. That's in southern France.
Yeah,
In
that still
December
gets
is
cold,
probably
though. That
it
still
still
gets
gets
cold.
probably warmer. It's probably a little warmer than Imola because it's closer to the Med.
Northern Spain gets cold. Now you're looking at southern Spain, southern Italy. I don't know if there's any tracks in the south of Italy.
Probably not really that are F1 graded.
I don't know where you would go. Even Malaysia would be better.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. But it sounds like a absurd idea. Not the most absurd thing I've heard this week, because there's a lot of absurdity going on. That brings us, Cheese, into our newest segment. The theater of the absurdity.
Step right up to the show. Let the madness unwind. The wildest F1 stories that you'll ever find.
That's right.
Off the track, out of the box, complete.
Venture into the wild.
Welcome to the theater of absurdity.
That's right, Cheese. H non-race week here. We're going to explore. Go to explore a little of the absurd, and there's plenty of absurd. The tinfoil hats, the wild fans, the enthusiastic fans, let's say. And there's always something absurd going on in F1, and it's our job, it's our responsibility when we see something absurd, something off the wall, something a little bit different, that we bring it to your attention. And this week's Theater of the Absurdity is definitely going to the Bahrain Grand Prix 2026. And I know we talked about it last show, and this is not breaking news, but the more I thought about it, the more it sticks in my craw. Because it's the Bahrain Grand Prix in Malaysia. Is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. You're not in Bahrain. Like, I get it. Is this the Bahrainian Grand Prix? So, like, if we have, in the future, a Quizmaster's cockpit and a question about the Bahrainian 2026 Grand Prix, is the answer the Malaysian Grand Prix? Like, it makes absolutely no sense. Give it to Malaysia. Understand, it brings up more questions. Like, we don't want to talk about the war in the Middle East, so you bring up more questions with changing the name, and you just let it go. Call it the Malaysian Grand Prix. There was a conflict going on, or a war going on, or whatever you want to term it, whatever your friends want to call it, in the FIA world, whatever way you want to twist the narrative, and just drop it. It didn't happen. Half of us forgot about it already. Probably most of us forgot about it already. And you just add the Malaysian Grand Prix to the calendar. You move on. You call it what it is. And it takes away from Malaysia, who has to step up and work really, really quickly to host an F1 race. It's not just easy. You can't just be like, oh, open the track. Throw some stands up there and we'll host an F1 race where 300,000 people are going to show up over a 3-day period or more. It's absurd. hosting an F1 event is absurd to begin with, let alone on such short time. And then you take it away and you minimize the fact that it's the Malaysian Grand Prix and you call it the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. It's more absurd than having the potential snow race, which that would take the cake of absolute absurdity if we get a snow race. That would be the most absurd. But for now, we're going to leave it at the Bahrainian Grand Prix of Malaysia is the most absurd name for a race I've ever heard in my life. Prove me wrong, folks. Prove me wrong.
I can't disagree with you at all. I can't. When I reported it was going there, the name hadn't been I don't think fully released yet, that it was going to be the Bahrain. They just said, we're going to Malaysia for this time period because it fits in with, where they are in the calendar. But for it to be called the Bahrain Grand Prix in Malaysia is absolutely absurd. It is absolutely absurd. So yes, down the road in the future, a question could come up in Quizmaster's cockpit saying the 2026 Grand Prix was held at what circuit? And if you say the secure circuit in Bahrain, that would be incorrect because you'd have to say it was in Malaysia.
This is
usually, when there's a race held in the name, it's the same country, but not here. No, we're going
you
like
move to a different part of the country, different track, semi-regional. Like, I guess if you had to move, the Canadian Grand Prix to like Watkins Glen, I guess that would even be weird because you're in a different country. But at least you're like, couple 100-mile difference. Even that would be wrong. That would be absurd as well. If you have the Canadian Grand Prix at Watkins Glen. So what does it make the Bahrain Grand Prix in Malaysia?
That's madness.
Out of control. Out of control. I could go through a laundry list of comparisons here.
I'd be able to throw a race. The track is definitely probably still open for, other types of racing and things that it definitely holds.
There's nothing. No one's going to bring in 100,000 people a day.
But to bring, to do a short turnaround to prepare for the Formula One circuit, selling tickets and
hiring staff, security, vendors.
Yeah,
that's all local. That's all local.
It's a lot of stuff. So usually, you have, this planned, a year or so in advance.
You want years? They announce these races when they add new races. They announce them years in advance. And it's not because, we want to tease you for 3 years out or 2 years out. It's because they have to hire people. They have to prepare. From PR to ticket sales to just think about any place you go where you have to buy a ticket and how many people you have to interact with between the parking attendants.
Yeah, the infrastructure upgrades you have to make so you can handle the amount of people that are going to be showing up for
public transportation, which is done by the city. Right, which has nothing to do with F1, which has nothing to do with the race at all, but they're still going to have chaos getting there. You're going to have 50,000 scooters going out in Malaysia. So they love them scooters in Malaysia. And just the parking, the logistics of it is insane. So, and then to just be like, oh yeah, it's not yours. By the way, you'll do all the work. We'll just throw your name at the end. That's tough stuff, man. That's a slap in the face. They powdered their hand up. The FIA powdered their hand up and slapped the whole country of Malaysia right in the face. And I'm going to end on that. And you can't argue with that one bit. He's got nothing to say. He's laughing too hard. Anyway, of course, as Cheese tries to compose himself, we will, of course, be back next week with some more in the news. A lot of stuff we didn't get to. We'll see what happens between now and then. I'm sure there'll be new news stories, new rumors. Anywhere from Ollie Bearman talking about coming back to Haas next year with no interest in Ferrari, like I talked about before. Looks like maybe Ferrari 2028 for Bearman. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some other silly season rumors that might come up. Max might have a contract signed with McLaren by the time we get back here, so who the hell knows? Cheese, say what you got to say, brother.
We'll be back next week, and as always, stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.
In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. Coming live from the US of A. Podcast groove. The boys bring you the F1 news. Everything you need, so you know just what to do. And it's all alright, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. Ferrari's gonna drive you crazy. Mad Max, he's so amazing. McLaren, Merc, and more. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese. And they know their way around the track. When you need the facts, you can trust them. They won't steer you wrong. Always right on time. They know their way around a microphone. And it's all right, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the Cheese.